Hello everyone. For me, there's only one thing that's more exciting than planting the seed when it comes to gardening, and that is harvesting the crops. And if you're a gardener or a farmer, I'm sure you'll agree with me that harvesting is the most exciting time in the growing season. Sometimes all the hard work and the anticipation boils over, and that's all you can think about, what that's going to be like when that fruit or vegetable is at its peak of ripeness and ready to be picked and put on the table, sold at a food stand, or given to a neighbor. There's just nothing like it. To grow your own food is just unexplainable for me. It's a great joy. It just takes us back to our ancestors' days, back in the days when people depended on the land for everything, and they worked off the land and they were self-sufficient. When the harvest came, there were big celebrations, and in communities even, where people got together and had a big feast together. That happens sometimes in mid to late summer, and then other times it doesn't happen until the fall for Thanksgiving. But we have a lot to be thankful for all year round, especially if we have access to fresh fruits and vegetables from the grocery store that is being farmed somewhere in the world, and we should always be thankful for that. So today, as I'm getting ready to do some harvesting, I just want to express my gratitude to God for allowing me to grow what I have grown at such a low expense. I was able to do it. It didn't break the bank, or I didn't have to go in debt or anything to produce this garden. It's been a gradual accomplishment over the years, and I'm just thankful that the weather cooperated. And we had plenty of rain this year. Sometimes we thought it was too much rain, but that rain actually helped the crops more than I even thought. Now as we do the harvest, we'll be seeing what God has provided, because He is the one that created this world and allowed these fruits and vegetables to grow on our earth. All I did was plant the seed that started with our Creator. As He has created all things, all the plants, all the animals, and all the people, and He expects us to be fruitful and multiply. I can really see it with the fruits and vegetables that I've grown here on this property. And though it's in the city, it still is doing very well, and I'm thankful for all that God has provided here on this small plot of land. If you have a garden too, I'd love to hear what you have harvested from your garden and what your plans are for the future. All right, here's the first one I want to get. It's a very large one, which I'll be either giving it away or making zucchini bread or some other baked item or casserole. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. I'm cutting it with a little knife, paring knife, and here it is. Okay, we have a very large basket. Okay, that's the first thing I harvested. We're pulling back the leaves and okay. There's another one. This one's actually too long for the basket. We'll just put it, slant it that way. Okay. Here's another one. Here's what it looks like before I get started on pulling out some of the plants. All right, I had to take up all of the zucchinis because of a moth problem. They laid eggs, and so the plants were starting to die off anyway, I noticed. But I'll show you what happened. Yeah, a moth laid eggs, and the caterpillars were eating through the vines. And this plant was dying along with the other plants. They were going to probably be dead within a week. They were dying off. But I got everything harvested before that happened, so I was very fortunate. This is amazing. Now we have some other zucchini plants in another area, so we're going to go over there now. I usually grow bush beans through here, but the zucchinis have been thriving longer than usual. These do not look like, it does not look like the moths laid eggs in these vines. But I will be checking it out, looking more closely and see if we have any zucchinis we can harvest also. I got a small harvest and one's tiny. And I think there's one plant that I'm going to leave because it's growing. A zucchini I think is going to do well. In fact, there's three. I'm going to leave this plant. And the root looks pretty good. But there's one here that the moth laid eggs in this one. And it got eaten through. So this is not going to do anything else. Yeah, it's done. And there's another one over there that's done. It's whether a moth got it or not, it's just not doing anything. So I'm going to leave one plant. We'll see how these do. I'll be watching these over the next few days. Once I harvest them, this plant's going out of here too. So we'll just pick up our harvest and put it in the other basket and see how many zucchinis we have. We have several. I'd have to count them, but most of them are very large. We have a couple medium size and one very small that will be used in a veggie plate. Now it's time to harvest some of the corn, the larger ears. The corn cannot be pulled off. I'll just bend it back and go through with a small knife and cut the corn below the cob so I don't damage any of the kernels. This hasn't turned brown yet. The silks have to be brown before they're ready and ready to fall off. This is all dried up. This one has got to be ready. That one's got to go. Okay, I got to finish cutting them off. And there's a lot. There's some that are not ready though. Okay. This has insects on it. Okay. That happens. And we'll be washing them off, of course. Yes, this one is ready. Very creamy. That one's very creamy. Yeah, that came right off. Good. Here's a good example. There you go. This one is ready. And here's the corn we harvested tonight. And we've got several ears here. Thanks for watching today. We had a pretty good harvest, zucchini and corn. I was hoping to harvest more vegetables. We can do that another day. It's Friday night, it's getting late, the wind is blowing, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you learned a little something, and whatever garden tips you might have for me, throw them this way. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one.